Let me try from the first to indicate the point that we're aiming at. The point is this, that human consciousness is at the same time as being a form of awareness and sensitivity and understanding, it's also a form of ignorance. The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in.
If one can believe that this universe is in charge of an intelligent and beneficent God, don't you think he would have naturally have provided us with an infallible guide to behavior and to the truth about the universe? And of course I knew he meant the Bible. I said, no, I think nothing of the kind, because I think a loving God would not do something to his children that would rot their brains. Because if we had an infallible guide, we would never think for ourselves, and therefore our minds would become atrophied. It is as if my grandfather had left me $1 million. I'm glad he didn't.
And as a result of having a false sense of identity, we act in a way that is inappropriate to our natural environment. And when that inappropriate way of action is magnified by a very powerful technology, we swiftly begin to see the results of a profound discord between man and nature. As is well known, we are now in the process of destroying our environment as a result of an attempt to conquer it and master it. And we have not realized, therefore, that our environment is not something other than ourselves. In assuming that it is, we have made a great mistake and are now paying the price for it. But most people would agree with the lines of the poet who said, "I, a stranger and afraid, in a world I never made." Because we have the strong sensation that our own being inside our skin is extremely different from the world outside our skin. That while there may be intelligence inside human skins, and while there may be values and loving feelings, outside the skin is a world of mechanical process which does not give a damn about any individual, and which is basically unintelligent, being gyrations of blind force, and so far as the merely biological world is concerned, gyrations of libido, which is Freud's word for blind lust. There are many people who say they don't believe that the world is like that, but under the control of a wise, just, and beneficent God. Although many people say that they believe that to be the case, very few people in fact believe that to be the case. A great many people believe that they ought to believe in God, but they don't, actually. Because the idea of God as handed down in popular Christianity and Judaism and Islam has become implausible to most educated people. They would love to believe it, but they can't. And what has become the common sense of the average person is the avant-garde thinking of the 18th and 19th centuries of the West, which is the mechanical universe, and most of them have not even caught up in their common sense with the universe of modern physics, because we think about the world in Newtonian categories and not so much in the categories of quantum theory. Psychoanalysis, for example, is a Newtonian conception of our psychological mechanisms. Notice that we speak of unconscious mental mechanisms and think of the libido in the same way as Ernst Haeckel thought of the energy of the universe as blind, unconscious. Psychoanalysis is really psychohydraulics because of its analogy between psychic energy and the flow of water.
Really, deep down, who are you? I don't know. Well, that's the thing to find out. That's the thing that's been forgotten. See, that's the underside of the tapestry, the thing that's been left out. Because what we are carefully taught to ignore is that every one of us fundamentally, deep inside, let's put it that way, is an act of, a function of, a performance of, a manifestation of the works. The whole blinking cosmos, with all its galaxies, and forever and ever and ever, whatever it is beyond that, what you might call God in the Western tradition, or Brahman in Hindu philosophy, or Tao in Chinese. Every one of us is really that, but we are pretending we aren't. And we are pretending with tremendous skill and deception.
I suppose most of you have heard of Zen. But before going on to explain any details about it, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. I am not a Zen Buddhist. I am not advocating Zen Buddhism. I'm not trying to convert anyone to it. I have nothing to sell. I'm an entertainer. That is to say, in the same sense that when you go to a concert and you listen to someone play Mozart, he has nothing to sell except the sound of the music. He doesn't want to convert you to anything. He doesn't want you to join an organization in favor of Mozart's music as opposed to, say, Beethoven's. And I approach you in the same spirit as a musician with his piano or violinist with his violin. I just want you to enjoy a point of view which I enjoy.